Right now, we'll take a look at the front pages of the national dailies, and as usual, we'll start with the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. There's a lot on the front page. Now, the major story here says Nakan in dilemma as low turnout threatens 2024 Hajj preparations, which is not something that we would say was not expected. The writers are saying that fare rises by 682% in 10 years. There's less than 25,000 pilgrims pay so far. Less than 25,000, and we know based on the statistic there's been a huge always turnout, from Nigerians going to Hajj, but then this year people are not even more than 25,000. That says the state seek extension of December 31st to be the payment deadline. High cost responsible for poor outing. That's according to intending pilgrims. I mean, they don't even have to say this. They don't have to say that the high cost is something that is responsible. We all know how the economic situation has affected everybody. And right now, Nigerians are I'm looking for ways to eat, to get the basic amenities. Not at this point, a Hajj is now looking as though it's something luxurious. You need to
because the cost is high.
It's super high. But in 10 years, 682% increase.
So you can imagine how. So the thing is, right? Even if, for say, let's say I give you a seat, you need some change, the money that you're going to
survive with it.
Definitely. So imagine with this economic situation now, maybe you need nothing less than $1 million to travel because you want to get gifts for your loved ones, and then even for yourself, there are places that you have to go to that you have to spend, and people will not spend that for, even though they are going to make arrangements for buses that would take you from this end to that end, but then the cost is too high, and definitely the turnout is not going to be as huge as it was for 2023 because it's 2024. So
and there was a time where there was a rumor about a woman going to Hajj and coming back broke to a point that she had to, go and commit suicide. A really sad situation. So things like this is scary for somebody to be like, I'm going to pack all the money that I have to go. Then what if I come back? I still need to survive. So definitely the government needs to look at this because the price
they can cut off some percentage and then the government can actually, maybe complete the rest, which I know it's kind of, not sure it's to happen.
The government can do anything. But governments are like the grandpas. They need to find a solution for the family.
So.
You'll find this story on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper there. Below that one, we have Naira devaluation, how neighboring countries and others feast on Nigeria's cheap grains. It says the rider merchants lead after rumored CFA redesign. Cottage industries in Mali come for pepper, palm oil, and tamarind. The soybean, maize in high demand in Ghana. Encourage irrigation to make farmers rich. That's according to experts. You find this on page 5 and 6. If there is one thing we've always been beating on is the advantage of pushing farmers and doing the needful, securing their farmlands in order to get, and make sure you also, the government should work on making the Naira's value to rise. That would make all our economy issue just fixed automatically. I mean, when we can actually have enough food here in the country and even export, and our Naira is of value. I saw something on social media trending about people saying, I remember when there was an old Nollywood movie playing, and they said, he was saying that this is the most expensive restaurant where Ekwobi is 150 Naira. And that point where Nigerians knew that the small amount of money would get you a large thing.
Whatever you can eat enough.
Exactly. Yes, so that's that time. People are now reminiscing over it, and it's meaning that Nigeria
I have hope that it's going to come back.
Yes,
definitely. It's just a hardship which, like I always say, every country is facing its own kind of hardship. So that doesn't mean Nigeria is going to be left out.
And let's not forget, Nigerians are hopeful.
We are always
more than any
strong.
Other country.
We're always strong. We keep up. We carry on with hardships, whatever situation we find ourselves.
But please, let's not push the Nigerians to the extreme. There should be, a way to fix all of this before it actually gets out of hand. All right. Beside that, we have marriage propelled me to become the best medical student. That's according to 24-year-old mother. Bandits kill 4, kidnapped 39 in FCT Niger communities and demand 50 million naira each for each abductee. It's really a sad situation where people that are poor are the ones that are kidnapped every day and demanded.
Well, it's not just the poor.
Funny enough, the poor gets mostly attacked. Yes, I mean, there was this recent one. A nursing student just got a holiday, just this festive period. So they were in a bus traveling from the nation's capital, Abuja, here to, I think, the Lokuja area. And you know those exits are known always for to be a kidnappers then. So they got all of them in the buses. You look at those people and you know that those people are the middle class and the lower class. So you're asking somebody that could barely survive. Their parents is putting everything they can to send this person to school, and you're asking them for 50 million. Where can they get it? And until now, she's still there because her parents are saying, we cannot afford it. They came down to 10. They said, we still cannot afford it. The people that you can reach out to are also, you know, battling with the basic amenities. So it's really bad. The security issues need to be fixed. It's really a sad situation.
It's really sad, you know, that people cannot even travel. You know, you're traveling, you're scared.
There's panic.
If I tell you it's been 2 years that I actually traveled to go and visit my family just here in Kaduna, you'll be shocked. Because I'm always scared, you know, like it's always my tummy. What if? I know when you pray, you leave everything to God, is fine, but then you always have that fear. That fear is always going to be there that anything can happen. It's
really a sad situation, and it leaves people with terrible post-traumatic stress and disorder. We have the thrills of Egbera Irewa Hunting Festival. You'll find this beautiful story on page 18. One thing would give African, especially Nigerians, is the beauty of culture, Fatima. Each time we bring in a beautiful tribe and then we start displaying the culture of that tribe. You can't wait, you can't help but fall in love and want to, you know, join in the festivity. So we appreciate people that are not letting go of the culture and tradition in Nigeria. We have the inside story of Bauchi man who was killed by the ex-girlfriend in Kano. You get details of this story. There's been a dilemma on that story, but Daily Trust got it, you know, the clarification of what really happened. You find that on page 8.
A lot of analysis. Yes. A lot of analysis from social media.
Conspiracy theory. That's the word. Conspiracy theory. People.
The social media moguls, I would say. Family, yes.
Investigators.
They are good investigators. Different analysis I've heard. I don't know what to believe. But, you know, when there are cases like this, like a woman killed a man or stuff, they are saying, some are saying, oh, she's dating him, or they were supposed to get married, but he was not ready, and then he's not supposed to do any business with a married woman. A whole lot of analysis that my head can't
even wrap your head around.
You know, yeah. So, but then the truth will come out, and they alone can actually speak for themselves. You know, even though one can try to maybe kind of cover up one or two things, you know, because of the fear of what
the unknown, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So,
of course, if you want to get the insight of that story, check page 8. The entertainment segment says 2023, the wins, the losses in Nigeria's entertainment industry. You'll find that on page 12 and 13 of the Daily Trust. Now, these are some of the stories on Daily Trust Saturday.
Okay, so let's quickly move on to the Guardian this morning. On top of the rider there says, sweet poison, how banned agrochemicals abuse triggers disease, life-threatening ailments. You can find that story on page 24. Mayowa Adioti, creating women-focused tech hub can help bridge gender gap in sector. You can find that story on page 15. Now, the major story there says plateau killings, how failure of intelligence fueled carnage. You can find that story on page 2. So Maya, now looking at the story of sweet poison and how banned agrochemicals abuse triggers diseases and life-threatening ailments, so you can see that farmers, I think this goes to farmers because they tend to abuse, you know, some chemicals that could maybe, you know, make their grains
quickly ripen the
yes.
grains.
So I think there was a time that, you know, that discussion actually happened on the morning show when all these health experts came and spoke about, some of the things that we eat that are forcefully ripened, like by using chemicals and all, which is really, you know, detrimental to people's health.
True, that is really true. So we need to be extra careful. I mean, we've seen
maybe they can regulate how much they can actually put out there.
It shouldn't even need to. When we talk about organic, I mean, that's why we always push for farmers to have farmers in the country. So we need things organically. You need to just take your time, let it grow.
You know, the sweetness is even different from the organic and the one that the chemical actually is. So you can find the story on page 24 of The Guardian. And then Southwest governors to join Ondo government family for Akeredolu's burial. You can find that story on page 3. Fight terrorists professionally to end war in Northeast. Commander urges troops. You can find that story on page 3. Genocide. PDP slams Tinubu for failing to visit Plateau communities. You can find that story on page 2. Now, Smaya, that's
it's not
a genocide.
It's not about the president, you know, visiting the communities, you know, and I know, anyway, we saw how the president was represented by the vice president in Tudunbiri when it happened. But even then, the vice president was there, I think, 2 weeks after the event happened. So I'm sure that, you know, the president would definitely make a move to go there. But it's not about, you know, situations happening and then you'd go on later and tell them, oh, we feel for you. It's about it's being avoided in the first place. And that's the banter that has been happening,
because,
the bit of challenge.
You know, on social media yesterday, I bumped into videos of netizens, you know, letting out their anger, saying that this information must have gotten to them beforehand, you know, that they could have done something, you know. So even though the explanation is kind of, I don't know if saying there was a delay, there was an issue with the roads and, you know, stuff that made them not to get there.
They spoke about the locations and all that, even though
it's not easy
distress calls about 37 times while it was happening. Honestly, it's really a sad situation. It's something that could be avoided. And the most annoying thing is that investigation is going to be just starting, because a lot of these perpetrators, they couldn't even get one of them. So
and then you can look at the scenario that happened in Kaduna, and then this massive killing that just happened in
losing people
slaughtered and killed and in hundreds. And it's really, you know, it's a sad situation, because there's no single day that you wake up you don't see a story of someone being killed, or, you know, or kidnapped, you know, and one thing or the other. And it's really sad. Well, that's the stories that you can find on The Guardian this morning.
All right, let's take a look at the Punch Saturday this morning. Below the headmaster, it says industrialists and parents lament as troubled Naira ends 2023 at 907 per dollar. You find that on page 4 and 15. Akeredolu fought for Southern president. That's according to the Southwest governors. Well, may his soul rest in peace. We have the major story saying that IG lands in Plateau as residents flee 25 threatened communities, visits the governor and begs residents to stay, deploys tactical teams to hunt attackers and secure communities. Some overzealous security agents turn victims into suspects. Governor tells Egbetoku. Now, this is exactly what one netizen said, you know, while I was going through the social media. Someone said there's that fear of getting innocent people and tagging them the culprit, because the easiest way that you could have gotten the culprit is in the act, which took days. I mean, the attack started on Saturday. Until even yesterday, there was still, you know, a bit of complaint here and there of those villages not being secured. So definitely, and we saw how the governor Caleb Mutwan came out on his interview to say that the federal government are not really assisting when it comes to security. We saw how the governor of Zamfara State also came out to make that same complaint, saying that there is no help from the federal government. So when it comes to securing a particular a state, we need to work together, because we know how the north, this insecurity thing started spreading. It started from one state to another. So it's a collective effort, not just one.
Is the governors of each state are the federal government themselves?
No, they are the state government.
But they are part of the federal government at the end of the day.
That is why they need help.
I know.
After all, they reach out to us to say, we as the citizens, we as the Nigerians, we need to also partake in the policing process. So if you're saying that we're going to leave everything to the state governor, then definitely they wouldn't be able to tackle this situation alone. So we need to do it collectively, because one bag potato can spoil the rest.
I think that's why some states are trying to, invent, or should I say, come up with vigilantes that, can be in this axis, that could be like a watch out for the people. To
help. And people, on Friday, yesterday, our guest for Daybreak, Malam Nuruddin Abdullah, mentioned that even these bandits, they are more scared of the vigilante groups than...
because the vigilantes are people that they may even know.
So they know each other.
They know each other. So definitely they know what this can do or that person can do. And then, the issue of state policing has been back and forth. We just hope that something is
honestly, because the numbers of people we're losing, it's not going to help. Because
I know if we were to look at the statistics of number of people that have died from starting early January till this December 30th, being the last Saturday of the year, it's really going to be a whole lot. I'm sure thousands of people.
It's really a sad situation, Fatih. Definitely. I hope that the grieving people of Plateau State, may God give them strength. It's really a sad situation. The governor, oh my God, I don't even want to be in his shoes right now. And those villages that were abandoned, we hope that it can be fixed, for people to at least go back home. We don't want to have more displaced people in the country. Well, moving on from that, below there we see the deadly garbage. The fear of epidemics looms as Lagosians turn streets to dumps. Why rape cases are high in Ogun. That's according to the commissioner. It's a situation there. We have anxiety as multiple admissions and student backlogs frustrate the law graduates. And in the entertainment segment, there's about 24 entertainers to watch out for in 2024. Now, these are some of the stories on Saturday Punch.
Okay, so let's take a look at Saturday Vanguard. The writer there on top says, Akere Dolu, it's an insult to mourn him outside hometown, Kingsmen tell family. You can find that story on page 8. 2023, a year of hardship, killings, political intrigues, toughest presidential poll. You can find that story on page 11. The major story there says Nigeria 2024, why we will slide further into economic chaos. Scarcity, the writer there says scarcity to bite harder as failure to hit us more. Reasons 2024 budget may not be implemented. You can find that story on page 9. Now, Sumaya, the major story there is saying that we may slide more, and I think, I don't want to use the word deeper because it's already deep, into economic hardship. World
Bank also made that prediction. Thank you. They made that, and they said that it would
about 6 states.
Yes, we're going to have another issues. We're going to go deeper into the economic chaos, and they made a statistic of saying it could be, maybe the prediction could change by the end of May, which is a long time.
That's 2024.
In 2024, so that is not looking good for us. We just hope that, the essence of these predictions and statistics is for the necessary people to find a way to go around it and avoid those predictions from coming to reality. So we just hope that 2024 would come with a better situation. It's the World Bank.
They have audits and the breakdowns of what is happening in states, because they have always been supportive, giving funds for projects.
NLC NLC said they are the enemies of the country because the World Bank suggested there should be a total removal of subsidy. Don't forget, there's an alleged situation saying that the federal government is still paying some kind of subsidy for the petrol price to remain in the 600 price. So they're saying that they should remove it in total. That way the economy would boom, and NLC attacked them bad. So I'm sure they will disagree with you right now.
So definitely, I know. But then, I'm just saying that they have because, they've been giving, funding projects for Nigeria for a very long time, so definitely they have the breakdowns of what's happening in various states where the money is being taken to for the necessary projects.
Insecurity is the major issues in those states because it's the northern parts of the country where they
everything.
Exactly, food and all that.
Yeah, so you can find that story on page 9. Plateau Christmas Eve massacre survival. We pretended to be dead, but as my son tried to crawl away, the Fulani attackers noticed he was not dead. They killed him. You can find that story on page 14. Now, this is a mother, saying what has happened in her own presence right before her eyes, how her son was killed. And Sumaya, you can imagine her saying crawling. How old could this baby
really
be?
Terrible, Fatima. I saw some of the videos. Grossly, you know me, I don't even want to look at those things. I'm getting emotional just by you reading that out. It's horrible.
Yeah, definitely. It's really sad. You can find that story on page 14 of the Vanguard. State of the Nation, why I pray for our oil to dry up. You can find that story on page 13. Now, this is a different thing. It was someone praying that our oil should dry up.
That way we can exploit other things. I think maybe that could be why.
Like electronic cars.
If there is one thing that
cars that could run on water.
If there is one thing the world knows, is that Nigerians are one smart people. If a Nigerian decides to set a goal for themselves, they will achieve it.
And
so
there's
maybe
a guy
someone is saying, I
came,
want it to dry up so that we can exploit other things because we have a lot of talent.
Definitely. I mean, the Maiduguri guy that invented the car, the electronic car.
That was what I was bringing to say. Our program showcase always brings how talented people are. People creating drone, someone creating a tricycle that doesn't need a fuel.
Someone creating solar.
So there is a lot of things that Nigerians could actually exploit from.
Yeah, so you can find that story on page 13, even though I would love to read that story to know who really said that. 2023, biggest fallout from Nigerian music landscape. You can find that story on page 19. I can see Tiwa Savage there yeah, so you can find that story on page 25. And then bandits invade Abuja, Niger communities, kill 4, kidnap 39. You can find that story on page 5. Sumaya, it's like we said, every single day we hear stories of people being kidnapped, killed. So you can see that bandits invaded Abuja also, I'm sure some areas. And then Niger also community, they killed 4 and kidnapped 39.
It's really a sad
And then
situation.
imagine this 39, they keep demanding for ransom, each person 10 million, 50 million, like you just said. How would the family feel? And what do they do with all this money when they
That's a question for another day. It's just greed. I mean, greed makes you hurt other people and you make excuses of poverty and all that because every other person is going through the same thing. We're in the same economy,
it's really
country.
sad, that people are turning this way. And we just hope that things get better and God makes it easy for everyone.
Indeed.
So that's it for the Vanguard this morning.
All right, let's quickly take the Tribune this Saturday. It says bandits raided the FCT community and 2 Niger villages and killed 4, abduct 39. Police rescue pregnant woman from kidnappers den in Ogun. The major story is saying IGP in Plateau as fear of fresh attack grips the residents. Traditional rulers ban New Year celebrations and Middle Belt Forum attacks government and security forces. I mean, someone needs to, challenge what is happening. Plateau State is really in a very sad situation there. And there have been threats of, new attacks. A really sad one. I mean, somebody that needs to have the guts to say, we did it and nothing happened for a week, so we can still do it again. Moving on, we have Northern Elders Forum, Mons ex-speaker Naabba. May his rest in peace, Gali Omar Naba. We have 2024 will be worst year for Naira since 1999. That's Bloomberg. It says Bloomberg rather. Forex reserves dip to 6-year low. I am most competent to place Edo on path of development, says Igodalo. Southwest states to jointly organize Akeredolu's burial. And at the bottom there, it says history will remember Akeredolu for standing up against the marauders. That's according to Olateju, the Information Commissioner. Now, these are some of the stories on the Saturday Tribune. Now, this is the much that we can take on the newspaper segment. I will quickly take a break, and when we come back, it will be time to open the phone line to hear from you. So stay with us.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Daybreak Extra coming to you from our studios right here in Abuja. And Sumaya, what do we have for our phone line discussion this morning?
Oh, I cannot wait. This is something that everybody can relate with, and whether we like it or not, we always want to do this kind of things. It makes you set your goals, and of course you push yourself in achieving it. So yes, we'll be talking about New Year resolution and what it would be for you in 2024. Now, the year 2023 is coming to an end, and 2024 is just about to begin, and everyone is excited about it, right? As we are all prepping and having ideas on what our New Year resolution for 2024 is going to be. And it's the time for yet another tradition to be followed, which is the New Year tradition, actually. So the beginning of the New Year provides hope about the fulfillment of these resolutions. The beginning of the year marks an opportunity to reflect on life and to know where you would be in the future. It is that time in life where you tell yourself that, okay, 2023, it didn't work out, or last year, it didn't work out this year. It gives that hope of saying, I can push and I can achieve the things that I was not able to achieve, from the previous year as a carryover. Now, the new goals may lead to the adapting of new routines and habits, which may lead to making you feel good about yourself. Now, the resolutions can be either big or small, and the small resolutions can be like, waking up early, telling yourself that I'm not going to be the night person. I want to be the morning person, waking up bright, or making changes, to your sleep routine. The resolution involves self-improvement and the fulfillment of personal goals. Now, to talk about these things, we want to hear your New Year resolutions, the plan. Are you writing it up, to get like a memo and then write down your plans? Is that what you're doing? Or are you going to use your phone and just draft it? Or are you going to watch a lot of videos online to pick these things out? That is what we want to hear from you.
And yes, to add up to what you just said, it's not just about the 2024. We also want to hear the 2023 year resolution that they write down as their wish list or to-do list. Did they really fulfill it? Is there anything they're going to carry over to 2024? So, which is very important, because if you keep coming up with New Year resolutions and you don't meet up or you don't carry it out, then there's so let's hear what you've done. That's 2023, and then you tell us what you intend to do 2024.
I mean, I have, for me, I know that there was a resolution you do, because as humans, that's who we are. We keep wishing and hoping and preparing. And so there was that plan for me, and even though I couldn't fulfill the much that I wanted to do at the early part of it,
at least
but at the ending, I took action, and that is the word. Sometimes we keep procrastinating. I want to do this, but you keep pushing it back, pushing it back.
Procrastination is the word.
It is the enemy of every human. So at the end of the year, I would say, yes, I started this, and so 2024 is looking bright, So we want to hear from you. Please go ahead, call us on the number displayed on your screen. And please, as you're calling, do stay away from your TV set or tone down the volume and send in messages via WhatsApp with the same number. Don't forget to include your name and location. Tell us what your 2023 New Year resolution was, and were you able to achieve it, and what your 2024 New Year resolution will be, and what are the actions that you plan to put in place in order to achieve it, because it's not about making wishes.
Exactly, that's what I'm just saying. It's not just saying, oh, I want to. So let's say I have a wish list today, and then my first wish list is to, let's say I want to go for Hajj. What am I doing to make sure that I go for Hajj?
That's an amazing example, Fatima.
Because I actually have been, thinking about it, that I actually would love to go for Hajj next year. But then it depends. But I wish God would call me for it. Yeah, so
for that.
That's like the number one priority on my list. Even though I've been there, but then it's always fun. It's always, you always want to go back there. You don't want to
When she
leave.
says fun, I'm like, God, is she supposed to go before me, or I go?
I have been there uncountable times. So it's not a competition.
It is that period. No. It is time for. It's all about
let's go.
Spirituality.
Let's go. Put it on your wish list and let's be going.
It's a beautiful time to reflect. It's all about spirituality. So it's a very amazing New Year resolution that you set for yourself, and it's something that I admired. I mean, it's always good to sit with people and talk about your New Year's resolution, because sometimes you get the boost from other people.
Funny enough, you and I actually have spoken about your resolution, but you just didn't make it look like, oh, this is going to be my 2024 resolution, or this is what I plan to do. But then you've actually told me certain things that you actually want to achieve and how you want to achieve them. And I was like, okay, this girl knows where she's headed. So yeah, that's the fun part, knowing what you want to do and then pushing yourself to see that you achieve that. So it's really important.
Indeed. So a lot of things are happening.
Okay, we have our first caller. Good morning. Your name and location, please. Are you with us? Okay. All
right. It seems to be having an issue. Please do call us back and talk to us about your New Year resolution. It is something that we always look forward to. It's that thing that put excitement on your face.
Yeah.
Sometimes previous year can come with a bit of shaky, but then you're always hoping that the new year is going to look up and see things that we've seen, Fatih. We've seen how people have grown in 2023. We've seen how the statement that was so funny about the former president saying Nigerians are lazy.
Yeah, so we have another caller. So Maya will get back to that. Good morning. Your name and location, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press here.
Thank you. Your name and location, please.
My name is Zion. I'm calling from Katsina State.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yes, Zion. Okay. I'm listening from your program, and I'm very happy to hear this morning. So my problem is this. What I want God to do for me is one. I want God to remove bad habits to me, because it's a habit I have by humanize. One. Two, that makes me, I cannot be in the church for some time, because if I go to the church, I cannot be there, I cannot go with the Bible, I cannot go by sitting and by reading. So for a while now, for the past five years now, I'm not been to the church because of the bad habits. I'm praying by God to remove that from me, because I want to be new changing from this 2024 and let me reconcile with my family to stay together, because I want to be with my wife, with my children. This is what I want God to do for me in this 2024. So thank you. This is my own. I want to say this one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, one thing that I would say is that you have taken the first step, which is you're praying, you want to change, but God tends to do it when you are willing to. So while you tell yourself, I'm going to pray to God, you need to sit down and write down in details what steps, what leads you to that habit that you just mentioned, and what you will need to do to get away from that habit. When you list how you tend to find yourself in every situation with that your habit, then you definitely know that, okay, if I'm going to these places and it leads me to this, then I should avoid these places. and go.
But then I commend his confidence, to come in on on a live program to say I'm this, I have this bad habit. This is what we are talking about. Admitting the fact that he admitted is the first step.
It's the first.
So it's now finding how it's left for him to work towards it.
So make your research about these things and definitely find how people have gotten away from that thing. Then you fix your own
we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and location, please.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Your name and location, please.
I appreciate your effort.
Thank you. Name and location, please.
From
Niger State. All right, go ahead.
Yes. All right.
Are you with us? Right, I think we lost that call.
I think
please.
I think he just called to just say thank you, to show appreciation.
We do appreciate you too.
We do that.
Just hearing from you guys on this.
So Sumaya, it's whenever you have an idea of what you want to change about yourself, if it's a bad habit, if it's basically it's the habit that you want to change about yourself, maybe like we rightly stated some of the examples. Maybe you want to change your sleeping routine, maybe you want to achieve certain goal in life. Maybe you want to be in this position before the year runs out. That's 2024 we're talking about. You set up a goal and say, okay, from January I want to start the step. This is what I want to look for, like you rightly said. Write it out. What's the step? If you want to open an office, for example, you want to start a business, you want to be self-employed, you need to start from somewhere. Maybe the first thing is, okay, what do I really want to do? Are there people doing that? What will I do to make mine unique and different? So you need to ask yourself certain questions, so that would motivate you to want to carry out whatever your goal is. So
indeed,
my second wish list is I'm praying for Nigeria to be better.
Yes,
so I'll wake up and then I can, wake up and not see kidnapping, killings, the economic hardship. Let money flow like it used to flow. And that way I can go for Hajj in a year, like 3 times.
If money flows too much, then the inflation rate is going to increase.
So when I go for Hajj and I come back, I'll go for Umrah.
But definitely, it's all about, your pure heart. So it is an amazing thing. Okay, we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Is that Trust TV?
Yes, this is Trust TV. Thank you so much for joining us. Your name and location, please.
My name is Joseph Wade.
Okay, Joseph.
Where are you calling from, Joseph?
From Taraba.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. So go ahead. What is your New Year's resolution, and what happened in 2023? Were you able to attain the 2023's New Year's resolution?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Thank you for the privilege and the opportunity. What I want to be by the 2024 is that God should help me to contribute positively to the peace of the nation, because that is what is worrying me very, very well. There is chaos here and there, so we need peace in this country. And let our leaders embrace peace, and whatever meeting they will be holding, let it be towards hearing of peace and tranquility in this nation, because we really need peace in this nation. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Joseph, for that. I mean, your thoughts just align, and your New Year's resolution aligned with Fatima's
my second wish list.
Yes, and one thing about that resolution is that he made mention that he prays that he's part of the policy makers in order to give his own quota to his country, which is a good thing. If you want something and you pray for it, then you need to work towards it. So everybody's New Year resolution should be.
You have also contributed to people's their resolution this year. One way or the other. You may not know, but until they say so. So hello,
we have another caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Your name and location, please.
Good morning. My name is Arwa Bello. I'm calling from Kano.
Thank you so much for joining us, Bello. Go ahead.
But the resolution of this year. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please, go ahead.
You are hearing me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Bello.
Hello?
Oh my God, I think Hello's network is bad.
Okay, do call us back again.
Call us again, because there's this excitement in his voice that I can relate with.
I would love to, read some messages as well. Don't forget to send us WhatsApp messages.
It's always beautiful when you get composed and write down all your messages so that we can read.
I think people want to call in this today. They're tired of typing messages.
And funny enough, we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us? Yes. Your name and location. Your name and location, please.
My name is Ibrahim from Niger State.
Ibrahim. Okay. Thank you so much
for joining us. Go ahead with your New Year resolution.
Okay. My year resolution is let me pray for the country. May Allah bless our determination 2024.
Amen.
And may Allah make it easy for us.
Amen.
Is there anything that you wanted to achieve in 2023 that you haven't achieved and you want to cross over to 2024?
Already. My determination is to give my quota to the nation. Let me say, I have a school. It's a nursery now. So before end of the year, my target to build a school and to help some offer. Like me, I'm an offer. So I want to build a offer to give the scholarship, and may Allah make it easy for us.
Amen. That's a big dream, but definitely that's giving back to your community. I mean, we hope that you find the zeal to push through and the financial strength, to carry that dream.
May Allah make it easy for us. My daughter Fatima, please pray for me.
Inshallah. Inshallah, I will pray for you. Inshallah.
Thank you so much. You see, this is what is happening. Sometimes your New Year resolution might relate to other people's own. So now he's pushing for Fatima to go to Hajj.
Joseph and I, yes, definitely. So, Joseph and I have a similar wish. He said he wants to contribute to the nation one way or the other. So, yeah, like I was saying, you have also contributed your own quota without you knowing, because you must have helped people at the time of need, maybe with food, clothes,
just
it could be anything.
A smile on someone's face.
So we have another caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
Okay, we seem to have issues of, I don't know if it's from our end or your end, but please go ahead and keep calling us. Yes, so let's hear from you. This is one exciting, topic that we want to hear from you about. I mean, all through the year we've been talking about the things we haven't achieved, the sadness. So right now we are on a clean slate.
Yeah,
there is that hope of better things are ahead of us in 2024. So let's hear the good things. Let's hear what you said
clean slate. You just reminded me when I was in school, and you said tabula rasa.
So let's of course hear from you on that one. I mean, the person that called and made mention of him trying to build a school, the only thing I could thought is how many out of school children we had due to insecurity and financial
and then Mr.
struggles.
President saying he's concerned about the number of dropout children in school. This is really lovely coming from Ibrahim, saying that he wants to help orphans, and he's one.
Exactly.
So he could feel, he knows he knows what they are missing, what is lacking. So I'm sure. And Sumaya, have you noticed that people that have either been in some kind of situation, either being an orphan or being a victim of something, once they come out or they grow up, they want to help people that are going through the same thing. And that is beautiful. It's a beautiful one, to see that people actually understand what they have gone through. People are also going through, maybe even worse than what they are going through, and they really want to help.
You would be in better position to help.
Yes, because you understand. Exactly. So do call us again, and then send us WhatsApp messages for those that have not been able to reach us on our phone lines. So, what's your New Year resolution? By the way, because I've been saying I've said two. I still have more, but I want to hear from you. What's your New Year resolution? Because you can't steal from my own resolution.
I'm definitely going to take from yours.
I'm sure it's Hajj, because that's one that has gotten to you. So what's your New Year resolution, don't copy me.
No. The thing about my New Year resolution is, I don't know if
you don't even know your New Year resolution.
I don't
you haven't written it down.
I know it in my head, but because I haven't already put it in motion to write it down, because I always believe in diary. I believe in writing down things. If you don't write it down, then you're just saying it in your head. It's just in your head.
But you know, the funny thing is, every time I've thought of going for Hajj and I've pictured or imagined, I have this feeling, this overwhelming joy that comes with it. And then before you know it, someone will just tell me, come.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to know what you want. I mean, they say opportunity come but once, so you need to be ready.
No, let it keep coming, not once, please.
So when it comes to resolutions, honestly, I have a lot in my head, but because I haven't putting it down, I just feel like it's still a dream until I write it down. Because whenever I'm writing what I want to achieve, I always give space. I'll take a page and then I'll write, this is what I want to get. Then underneath it, I start at writing down what I would do in order to achieve those things. Oh my God, nothing comes to mind right now. So
so let me tell you the third. Okay. No. Okay, if that's the case, I'll stop saying mine, because I don't know if you're going to, refine it, and then you come and...
No, we'll work together. We could plan New Year together. Sometimes New Year resolution could come with two. I mean, if you see friends...
So you haven't thought of going for trip? You haven't? Exactly.
Yeah,
so
okay. We have another caller. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us? Please stay away from your TV set or tone down the volume. We can hear ourselves through your phone, but we can't hear you. Okay, I think I would need to let you go. If you're calling us, please do stay away from your TV set or turn down the volume. That way you get to talk to us. When we talk, then you can go on and increase the volume. This is an important thing. One thing you don't know is that when you're dropping your New Year resolution, it will definitely encourage other people to pick a paper and do that. All right, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and location, please.
I'm Atu calling from Taraba State.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Atu. Go ahead.
Okay, I want my contribution, or let me say my resolution is, I want the Nigerian youth to make sure they go around and check all around their bushes, so that we can be able to take out all these ethnic killers. For this year alone, Nigeria has recorded over like 6,000 deaths due to the herdsmen killing.
Bandits,
so
rather. Bandits.
Yes, the bandits and the herdsmen.
No, bandits.
Bandits in general.
Bandits.
Just call bandits.
I should just call bandits.
Yes. It's still
They're all bandits. They're all in the same.
Until, so it's bandits.
Okay, thank you. So I want Nigeria to take it upon themselves as a resolution, as a responsibility, so that we should go out in mass, in campaign, to make sure that we're able to flush out these people through, let me say, giving some orientations and reaching out people that are still in those bush. But we should make sure that those bad eggs in the bush are picked up, because we have local government, we have wards, we have area units. So I think we are capable of doing so many things.
Indeed.
Let Nigerians come out and volunteer to do something so that this thing should stop.
It is. Thank you so much for your resolution. That is another beautiful one. Pushing for the youth to, organize themselves and find a way in securing themselves. That is the best thing that works when it comes to security. So that's a great New Year resolution. We hope that, communities pick on that trail to get secured in their area. We have another caller. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
Morning. I'm James Ajiga from Kaduna.
Thank you for joining us, James. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. That man is still talking, I think. Okay. I just want to contribute on the topic.
Okay.
The New Year resolution.
Yes. Go ahead.
My New Year resolution actually is to commit myself in the service of God, and also to pray and seek for the nation, and make nation also to be in the position where it will be conducive for people. Yes, good morning, how are you?
It is a very beautiful dream, you know, for you to give your own quota to your community. James, are you with us? All right. Okay. So we do appreciate you, James, for calling with that. Nigerians are pushing for
yes,
a better country.
It's good that we are doing this, and I'm happy that people are still having hope.
Yes,
and looking forward to the 2024 and even beyond, because it's a good thing that we are even alive to see 2024. So let's take some WhatsApp messages. Good morning, Hajias. So Maya, now that you are the Hajia, you are going for Hajj.
Amen to that.
I am David, watching you from Ayetiju, Amuru, Mokpa Muru, local government, Kogi State. My New Year resolution is to serve God more than ever, make big money to take care of my family and aged parents. Now that's a lovely and beautiful one, David. We hope you keep up,
Yes, David, it's a beautiful one. The most important thing is that you work towards getting the big money legitimately.
And actually, it's part of my resolution to make big money.
But please, not the quick money syndrome, because it tends to lead you in a lot of trouble.
A gradual process,
so
and in a good way.
Everybody wants to make money, but the fact that you told yourself big, then you can work towards it and achieve it.
Okay, so my New Year resolution is I pray God to give me the heart of forgiveness after I found my partner cheats on me. After I found my partner cheated on me, I couldn't forget it. I also pray for long life and prosperity upon I and my family. Open doors, grace to serve God fully. Joy and peace in my marriage. So help me God. Thank you so much. Though you didn't tell us your name and where you are sending the message from, but then it's a lovely one. Thank you so much.
She gave in a deep details. I don't know if it's a she or he.
It's a he.
Yeah, but then it's always good that you already know that you need to forgive in order for you to feel good about yourself. Also, you need to heal. Yes. So yes,
we still have some WhatsApp messages before they display. So yeah, so my third New Year resolution. I have them plenty. Which do you want to hear? Okay, we have a caller.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
My name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Kaduna State.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Go ahead.
Yes. First and foremost, let me put the country first in all. I honestly have a great hope for Nigeria. And I pray that Allah will ease the hardship we're facing and economic challenges and insecurity. Just as I heard yesterday in yesterday's Daybreak, economic analyst saying that in coming 2024, the economic challenges will even go harder. But in more sincerity and patriotism, we pray that such will not come.
Sure.
In 2023, I had intention of getting married, but I encountered two most difficult hurdles, and one is the finance, and secondly, a decent wife. As well, I look much forward to getting a decent wife, honestly. But it's kind of a hurdle to get one now due to the moral decadence and, well...
We do understand.
Yes, exactly.
So are you hoping to get married 2024?
Yes.
Well,
okay, so that's a crossover.
Yeah,
since it didn't happen.
We wish you, the best. We hope that you get the exact modest person that you want, someone that would guide you and make life sweet. Because life is a beautiful thing when you're lucky to get a very beautiful partner.
Exactly.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohammed,
that's a lovely
for that. It is a lovely one, and I could feel his shyness from even saying it. But it's a very beautiful dream and resolution. I mean, in life, when you get a partner that is going to be your best friend, then you are lucky, and it will make life easy. So we hope that you get that. All right, we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning. Please tone down the volume of your TV set.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear your TV. So tone down the volume, please.
Hello.
All right, we need to let you go. Yes, you definitely have to call us back. There was no network issue. He was already
trying to
watching, yes, through the TV, and definitely there will be a bit delay before it would get to your TV. So that is why you need to stay away from your TV to talk to us on that one. We have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
I'm Alhassan Ali. I'm calling you from Jigawa State.
Thank you for joining us, Al Hassan. Go ahead.
First, I want to say good morning to you, Sumaya and Fatima.
Good morning.
My resolution to 2024, my focus go into the economic situation of the country. So, to me, my resolution to 2024, if God makes it possible for us, we have to look at the courses of life. We have to cut our costs based on our income. Because nowadays, if you look in the morning today, you have said something about Hajj fee, the way things increased in 10 years about 670%. So I have the intention of going to Hajj this year in Allah. So my prayer, I want you to pray for me to be able to complete my money before the deadline.
We pray you do.
Since they said a requesting for increase of the deadline. Secondly, we have to manage the resources we have due to the situation we find ourselves. You find out that a person that earning 100,000 maybe per month, this 100,000 before you take 70,000 may take him to buy the food stock for complete months. But nowadays, even the whole 100,000 cannot even take him to the part, even I will say half of the month. This is as a serious thing that we household in Nigeria we have to look at it, and then if care is not taken, you may cause a blame between the housewife and the household, because what you earn before is okay for you to sustain well in well done conditions. But nowadays, if you take the money, if you come back with the goods, the house member may look like cash. Nowadays, my husband is not ready to take care of us seriously. But this challenge, we household and the housewife, we have to sit down and understanding ourselves so that our life will go in harmony between ourselves. This is a challenge. This is a big challenge that I myself fear, that I myself looking at it as a serious thing to concern or to overlook this 2024. Because if you look the way dollars rising, going up, non-stop going, it's serious thing that we look, we pray, and we keep praying, more Almighty Allah, look us through this kind of life. That is my contribution. That is my resolution to 2024, Sumaya and Fatima. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
I wish you success. We are all endeavor and they're all your programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Al Hassan, for that.
Everybody wants to make huge money.
Yeah, but most times it's just about being comfortable, for Nigerians at this moment. Let's just be comfortable because we all know how finance can affect marriages. So he made mention of that. So as we are all wishing and hoping for our country to be in a better place in 2024, then we have to give our own quota. As a citizen, as you alone, what would you do in your own capacity to make sure we eradicate all of these things? I mean, some of these bandits and unknown gunmen are also part of the citizens. They are Nigerians. So when you all put that in mind and say, I want to give my quota, I want to stop doing this, then everything would be fine. All right, we have a call. I think this will be the last call I would pick today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and location, please.
My name is Gwani Suleiman Idris Mezube.
Okay.
I'm calling you from Katsina State.
Okay, thank you for joining us from Katsina. Go ahead with your thoughts.
You are welcome. So our major challenge is insecurity in Nigeria, particularly in the north.
So I want the government from end on the security in the country to create a job for the youth. At the beginning of this year, bring us peace and progress.
Amen to that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let me just read out this WhatsApp message, even though I think we skipped. My name is Abubakar Abba, chatting from Yobe State, Gashua. My resolution in 2024 was to change my character and to achieve my goal from getting married and open a new shop and make sure to put more efforts to round up my MSc in time within the year, inshallah. Thank you. My regards to Fatima, my wife to be namesake.
Oh,
okay, so that's a lovely one. Thank you so much, Abubakar Abba.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have
that's his wife's namesake. That's the name of his wife to be. Good morning, Daybreak. My name is Israel Kabirat from Kafanchang. My New Year resolution for 2024 and the carried over. One, I'm into gospel music, so I want God to take my voice round the nation of the earth. Two, I want God to fulfill his purpose over my life and give me wisdom and understanding of his by his words. Three, I pray for more increase in my spiritual status. I pray for financial status, wealth. I pray for long life, strength, and good health. Now, that's a lovely one. You have 5-year resolutions and the one that you carried over.
It's a beautiful thing, I mean, and we hope that your voice reaches, even beyond Nigeria to the world. We need more gospel in our lives.
So yeah, I think that's the much that we can take. Sumaya?
Yes, all right. Thank you.
It was so really much. Lovely, talking to people, hearing from them what their New Year resolutions are. It's nice to hear people wanting to change the situation of the country. It's not just about themselves, You should have said that as part of your resolution.
And it's made me realize I'm way behind this New Year resolution thing. So I'm going back to draft my book
You're going to carry over 2023. That's what it means. You carry over 2023.
No, by the end of tomorrow, which is the last day of the year 2023, I should have drafted this. So I'm sure
you should have thought about it before now, Sumaya, so that you can.
I thought of it, but I did not write it down. That was the But anyways, yes, okay, so thank you so much for all of you who called in to share in your New Year resolution. I'm sure, other viewers picked from that, and it would be a great motivation for yourself and other people as well. For those of you that tried reaching us, thank you. We do appreciate the effort. For the messages that we couldn't read because a lot was trooping in, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for, telling us all your dreams and aspirations. We do appreciate hearing from you, this Saturday, and the next Saturday would be a whole New Year's. So we hope that, of course, you will catch you up in another episode. But of course, the show hasn't ended, so we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be time for discussion with our guests. So stay with us.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Daybreak Extra coming to you from our studios here in Abuja. Before we went on the break, we had a beautiful phone call, and now we are diving into our first discussion. And we are going to be talking about swimming and how important it is as a life skill. In a world surrounded by water, mastering the art of swimming transcends recreation. It becomes an essential life skill. Beyond the joy it brings, swimming equips individuals with the ability to navigate water safely, fostering confidence and a sense of security. Whether in emergency, water-based activities, or simply enjoying aquatic environments, the proficiency in swimming opens doors to life enriched by both safety and recreation. Embracing waters, learn to swim, embrace a life skill that lasts a lifetime. And we have in the studio with us, I'm Fanny Ayam, CEO Climax Group Child Educator, serial entrepreneur.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, I am.
Thank you so much.
I'm saying I am because I'm used to the name I am since.
You could actually call me
your
Amfani.
email
Amfani is
said
fine.
I am, so I kept saying I am, I am. Even when I was coming at the gate, I told them I have a guest. His name is I am.
So they were not so sure. They said, oh, I am Amfani. Okay, which one is it? so you could call me Amfani. Amfani is just fine.
Oh, okay. So nice.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so tell us how essential, how important is learning the basic
the
skills
of swimming. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really glad to be here, and I just want to enlighten people about the importance of swimming. Swimming is not like every regular activity that people do outside. It is a life skill, so that should be set. It's a life skill that every person should have, both adults, both kids, both children, everybody needs to learn the skill of swimming, because we live in a world where, these days there are floods everywhere. There are different activities. People have pool parties. If you check the ratio of pools in the FCT, for instance, it's really high. It's more than 70% of homes that have swimming pools. And there's a high risk of drowning. We don't really have data in Nigeria to be able to tell how many people drown in Nigeria. They don't have a proper ratio to keep up, statistics to keep up with it. But trust me, the numbers are really high. So it's very, very important that children and adults alike learn the skill of swimming.
It's a beautiful thing. Now, you spoke about the children and adults alike. How are you able to, teach people from different age, with different age group? How are you able to get them to be comfortable in their own, should I say, the zeal of at least wanting to learn? And what would you say is the difference between teaching a child and an adult?
Oh, great. That's one of the favorite questions I always get. There are questions that people ask when they want to learn how to swim, but these are one of the major ones. So I always tell people, so there's one thing that you encounter when you're teaching people how to swim. So it's one thing to know how to swim. It's another thing to know how to communicate the skill to someone else. So in my own experience, when I'm teaching adults, I find it very easy to be able to communicate to them, about swimming. I tell them, okay, these are the skills. This is what you need to do. This is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And they're like, oh, wow, this is interesting. I think I can walk around this. But for children, because the attention span is almost at, let me not just call any number, but the attention span is almost at 0. So it's very difficult communicating with children. But over time, one of the strategies we use is repetition. We teach them over and over
ask
and
mothers.
over
Mothers
and over
have been
again.
doing that.
It's amazing, repetition. And then one of the things I have learned, doing this job is a lot of patience, because you work with children. Some are extremely very, very difficult. Some are very fun-loving. Some are so daring. They're not scared of anything. They want to jump in the deep end on the very first day, and you're wondering, hey, dude, calm down. Take it easy. Don't rush. So, but it's just a lovely experience. It's a good thing
that you're always there to guide them. And I remember you telling me that you're called the baby whisperer.
Yes, I am.
Tell me what's the reason behind that. How do people call you baby whisperer?
It actually has to do with you practicing a routine over a period of time. So I tell people, I want to be like you. I'm like, can you pay the price that I've paid? Can you walk, the number of hours I've walked to be able to get to where I got to? So it takes a lot of practice over a long period of time. And, you get vast experiences from different kinds of children. So I always tell my, my friends and my clientele that this boy, the parents, as soon as they come, they're like, this child is going to cry, so just be ready for it. I'm like, okay, don't worry, let's see how it goes. And then after a few minutes, the child is hugging me, the child is, calm, and the parents looking at me like, dude, where did you get that skill? But it took time to practice, knowing how to communicate to the child, knowing how to talk to the child, getting the child to become my friend first, before I start to introduce the routine to the child. So it takes a whole lot.
Now, talking about skills and all that, I can't wait to get to the part of how important the swimming is in life. But I want to know, because most times some people are not really coaches, but then they know how to swim and they want to at least be able to teach someone around them. So how are you able to manage your coaching strategies in getting people and working with them individually when it comes to their weaknesses and their strength? Because someone's strength
is someone else's weakness.
Someone else's weakness. So how are you able to manage that?
So one of the ways I do that is communication. So from the onset, I sit with you and I talk to you and I'm like, okay, so what is it you want to achieve from the onset? That's maybe talking about the adults. I sit with you, ask you questions. Did you have any past experience? Did you ever see someone drown? So, you know, regular questions I would ask to get feedback from you, to know what, you know, how to communicate to you. And people are like, look, I have phobia. I have serious phobia in this. And I'm like, okay, calm down. And then I talk you through the process. So it's always about communication. I sit with the person, we stay by the shallow end.
Indeed.
And then maybe 30 minutes into the class, you see yourself at the deep end and you're wondering, how did I get here?
Yes.
I talked you through the process. So it's always about communication.
No, I'm actually coming to my next question.
Yes.
You know, as a swimming coach, how deep can you go? Can you swim in an ocean, rivers? Like, how is it 6 feet, 7 feet,
7 feet? We're talking about 20 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet.
Because I've seen videos of people diving in deeper and, you know, doing things like walking inside the water and stuff. So how have you been able to achieve that?
Okay, so let me cast my mind back to when this journey started. You know, most people in Nigeria went to school, did a lot of stuff, but they're not doing what they studied in the university. So I grew up in an academic environment. My father's a professor, my mom is a professor, and my dad could not just understand why his first son would want to be a swimming instructor.
There's always that issue with first sons.
So he fought me growing up. He fought me like, dude, I'm not happy with you. You better go and get a job. I'm like, Dad, this is what I want to do. And at the beginning when I started, I had maybe like 1.5 clients. The business was not working. It wasn't doing well. But because of consistency and persistence, I kept pushing and kept pushing. And honestly speaking, the business grew. It grew over a period of time. So that passion to want to communicate skills to someone, it came from from when I was like 5, 6. That's when I started learning how to swim.
Okay, so there are people that would want to know different skills because there are different skills to everything. So can you take us through different skills when it comes to swimming so people can learn from it?
So there are 4 basic routines that you need to learn. First, there's called the freestyle. Then there's the backstroke, there's the breaststroke, and the butterfly stroke. So let me just start from the very first one, the freestyle. That's like the most common one where you see people are pulling their arms like this.
From the back
it's always
to
fun.
the front. Yeah.
It's fun to see somebody do that, but trust me, when you do the routine, it's not as easy as it looks.
Indeed. I mean, I always say that swimming, it's one of those exercises that involves you moving every part of your body.
Including your mind. Your mind is engaged because it has a lot of stages of repetition, combination of steps, combination of people. Like, man, this thing is complex. But I try my best to communicate with you. I go with you at your pace. I don't push you. There are some clients that from the very, very onset, they are like, you know, very energetic. They want to do it. I'm like, okay, let me push you. And then there are some that are very cautious. They're like, hey, we're going beyond the, you know, the shallow end.
And you wouldn't blame them because they saw how people are coping. All right, so you were telling us, you told us about the first, you know, skill. Let's hear the other ones.
Okay, so there's breaststroke. The breaststroke routine is a little bit more complex. You know, most people don't really even want to learn how to do it. It's quite complex. Then there's the backstroke, which I, as a swimming instructor, I'm not even supposed to be saying this on air. I do not like it. It's very, very rigorous.
Well,
so
like she said,
but then back.
Yes, it's like the front crawl.
Yeah, but then
it's
you're doing it backward. Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, and they say people doing it, and they make
you know,
so
they make it look.
Mentioned what may be what you may like.
Exactly, someone else's weakness.
It's okay for you not to like something, even if you're an expert in it.
Even when I do it, it looks so nice, so glorious. But trust me, my elbows are hurting, my knees are hurting, and everybody's like, "Wow, that's really good." And I'm like, "You don't know the pains I'm feeling." You know, actually.
Right, so
and
the
then
final one.
The final one is the butterfly. So that one is quite difficult because you have to segment your body. You use your 2 legs like a dolphin. You know, you kick your 2 legs at once and then you pull over with your arms. It's quite
and from the top, we've seen how drone shots get that.
Okay, so is it the one that when you dive, your hands are like this and then your legs are swimming like a fish?
That's called the dolphin kick. Oh. The dolphin kick.
I'm always, it's always fun when you see people diving and they go through and then they start.
Why would they go through? I mean, dolphins are doing it.
They're doing it well, but that's their
Is that the reason why you have muscles or you visit the gym?
Funny enough, I don't use the gym.
Wow.
I don't use the gym.
It's
Swimming
an exercise
keeps you
on its own.
completely fit. Physically, mentally, you're alert, you're strong, because over a period of time, your immune system becomes very strong. I rarely get cold, but I'm always in cold water. And people are wondering,
I'm glad you're
Because you're
dropping
always
this
there.
because
So-
I wanted to ask that question, the benefits of swimming, like physically and mentally.
And
So
mentally.
please give us more tips of people need to know because growing up in Nigeria especially, there was this fear, even for those of us that had the privilege of going out and then seeing the river and then you're jumping. Parents are always scared of you going to the river to try. Exactly. So people are just welcoming swimming now, even taking their kids for swim lessons. So right now we want you to give us the benefit, the importance of it, the benefits of that you would gain when you're swimming mentally and physically.
Thank you for that question. It's very, very important that we talk about benefits. So first of all, I'll start with saying that swimming, the health benefits for swimming is so enormous. There are so many things it can do for you. It can help you to keep you fit. But I'll start first from saying that the risk of injury when swimming is almost at maybe like 2%. Probably maybe someone falls.
Yeah, because you're underwater. Yeah.
Most of other activities you do, probably like running, I'm not trying to spoil any other person's business, but running, going to the gym, you are at risk of having injuries, back injuries, lifting weights, and all that. But in the pool, at age 60, at age 70, you can learn how to swim. So the risk of injury is almost at zero, as far as I'm concerned. But one of the things that swimming has helped me to do is to keep me fit. Very, very fit, physically, mentally, you're alert, helps your cardiovascular muscles to be strong. You know how you can breathe properly. Some people are climbing maybe 4 steps and they are breathing heavy and you're wondering like, why is this person breathing heavy? But it helps your cardio, helps a lot. Your blood, keeps your blood flowing properly. People are complaining of blood clot these days. Keeps your blood flowing, keeps everything running.
Yeah, I actually told you I have phobia, but I've always wanted to learn how to swim. I think it's in my family we have few that swim like fish. I wonder how they know how to swim. But then breath control is very, very important. Yeah. There are people that really swim, but they can't hold their breath for a very long time. Sometimes I try to, train myself. I could go, if I go to swim with my friends, I'll just go under the water. I'll be counting. Yeah, I'll count for a few seconds, maybe a minute. I don't know if I do that, but in my head, I think I stay for maybe 3 minutes.
That's that.
It could turn out that it's just 10 seconds.
It's just 10 seconds.
I'm telling you, in my head, I feel that, So please tell us, how can one know how to control their breath underwater, which is very important because if you breathe, you could get drowned, should I say? Oh, yeah.
You can take in water, you can drown. So first of all, that's one of the first things I teach, because if you want to learn any skill, what is most important is the fundamentals. So for instance, you're learning how to drive. You need to know how to park. You need to know the road signs. You need to know all the basics as regarding, driving. But for swimming, you also need to know the basics, the fundamentals. So one of the major things I teach first is breath control. I'll teach you how to hold your breath for 5 seconds. And some people come out, they are coughing, water's gone down their lungs and they are coughing. And I'm like, as you practice this more and more, you get better at it.
So do you tell them to go inside the water?
Oh yes, we do it together. Actually, we hold our hands, just to help boost confidence. We go underwater, 5 seconds, you come back up, we'll do 10 seconds, we come back up, we'll do 15 seconds, we come back up. Some people even get up to 30 seconds holding their breath on the first day.
I go 3 minutes.
I don't think so. Even me, I do like about a minute.
Okay, and now we know she did 5 seconds. Maybe because like before I was rating 10. So, all right, let's talk about standing in water. I've always been curious. I mean, I tried it once.
Exactly.
And I was fighting off the coat, like, get off me, you're trying to drown me. But then I find it's difficult to hold yourself while standing, because the water, that is when you feel the force, and that's when you can relate to people that drowned, God rest their soul, because you realize that water, even while it stands still, there is this strength it comes with. So how are you able to tell how can someone stand in water? I mean, that should be the question.
Okay, so it depends on the instructor that is taking the class. So one of the things I do is to help you to overcome your fears. I talk to you, try to engage you. I hold your hand. I sing songs just to get people's minds off the routine first of all. So we talk and then we take a walk together. I show you how to do it. Then after a while, I'll be like, okay, let me give you like 5 meters. Walk towards me. The person's like, I can't walk. I'm going to fall. I'm like, don't worry, you'll be fine. It's just 1 arm's length. I'll get to you. And over time, repetition. I mentioned it at the beginning of our talk. Repetition, consistency over a period of time. Your body buoyancy will start to adjust to it. Standing and walking. But you need
to have a lot of strength, right, to hold yourself.
Oh yes.
So it's like you doing. What is it called? This not the push-up, but the plank. It's plank. Like you doing plank, but holding yourself standing.
Amazing.
Is that it? Because
trust me, it's actually much more.
Why I can relate to it is that I have started trying that.
It's painful.
Yeah. So for instance, you're doing yoga.
Yeah.
For instance,
yoga.
You're doing yoga. You're
Pilates.
outside. Outside. You're doing yoga. It's it's a little bit comfortable. But buoyancy in water is over 200% over what you're doing because there's more pressure in water. So there's that tendency to feel like, wow, this thing is not working. This thing is not for me. But with consistency, with persistence, you get better.
I've seen videos, like I said, on social media where I've seen people walk in waters. You could see them walking. You could see them
doing
things inside. How possible is that? Is that fiction or is it real?
It's not fiction. It's real.
Can you do that?
I can do it. Let me just give you. Let me say this out here. When I got married, I did an underwater shot.
Yeah, the first underwater
my first,
shot.
when I got married, I did my underwater shot. And people said it was Photoshop, and I felt bad because we spent almost 5 hours doing that shot. The photographer did not know how to swim.
Yeah.
So anytime we go under and he takes the shot, he will cut off our head, he will cut someone's hand.
And I forgot to mention that he actually was the first person to do the underwater shots in West Africa.
In West Africa.
Interesting.
It's verifiable. You can go and check.
Interesting.
Underwater shots. I just thought we could do this thing differently.
Yeah, like every other country is doing.
Let's do it differently. Why should we? And people are like, swimming under. Is it your phone you're using? So I had to source for cameras, GoPro cameras, so many things. I'm talking of like maybe 8-9 years ago.
Yeah. So a baby whisperer. I always go back to that.
Yeah.
Tell me your success stories of people that you've coached and dealing with adults and kids is definitely a difficult one. Like Sumaya rightly mentioned that there are tough ones and there are soft that you can easily maneuver and navigate. How can you tell us the success story? Are there clients that are happy with your services and what are their achievements afterwards? Were you able to follow up?
Oh, great. So first of all, I want to say that most of the time I actually look for the difficult students because working with them helps me to get better. When I work with a child that is difficult, that cries a lot, that is very clingy to the mom, wants to be around the mom, those are the kinds of children I am looking for because at the end of the day, they make me better. I learn a different skill, how to communicate to the child, over a period of time.
So you're growing.
Sorry to cut you short. Well, how many months old baby do you start training how to swim? Because I've seen some of your videos that you start swimming, training some babies. Exactly, like this baby now. How many months is this baby?
He was 10 months when we started with him. 10 months. He's about 3 now.
Oh wow.
He's about 3 now and he's doing so well. But over a period of time, I've had kids much younger than this.
He looks so excited.
He's happy and he's not even he's not breathing.
He's not. He's holding his breath.
Babies are always.
He's holding his breath. I taught him how to hold his breath because there's a procedure to doing it.
I'm curious. How do you whisper to babies?
It's very, very difficult to communicate to a child that cannot speak.
Exactly.
So I use non-verbal communications. I use numbers. I use things that he can understand. So I can hold him, and I'm counting 1, 2, and I pour water over his head.
Oh yeah, I've seen a video that you were doing that.
1, 2, and at some point, when I say 1, 2, he knows. You feel him hold his breath. So he knows water is coming over his head. So at that point, I now start to submerge him. It takes a long, sometimes 3 weeks, 4 weeks, to get a child to that point.
So you do home services. Some of the schools
we do home services. Some are private homes. Some are the locations that I use.
Honestly, you are living the best life, I would say.
I'm telling you, underwater.
There's nothing better than doing what you love and getting paid for it.
I mean, I don't even want to be a swim coach, but I'm loving your job already.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the importance of learning this. So in your experience, how does swimming contribute to the overall water safety awareness? We need to hear from a coach on that.
Okay, so that's very very, very important, because there's a statistic that says in Nigeria, for instance, swimming is not so prevalent. It's just now, you mentioned it earlier, that parents are beginning to loosen out to say, okay, we want our children to swim. Most, I don't want to generalize, but I would say, because I'm in the industry, that most parents just felt like this is just an activity to just have fun, and they never saw it like something very serious.
Important.
So it's very, very important that parents need to start to pay attention to it. Not because I'm trying to push my business out there, but I'm trying to say it's a very important statistic that needs to move up. If you look at the ratio about sports in Nigeria, the ones that are very prevalent are football, basketball, athletics, and all that. Those are good, they're lovely. But swimming is somewhat neglected, and it needs to grow.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to ask that question. Being a coach, how do you think the government can actually fund or support swimming in Nigeria, so we can actually see it become like the basketball, football that you just mentioned? Because putting energy in one side, it's not good. So what do you think the government can do?
I feel the government has been really good. They've tried their best to do what they can to help us. And we have, I'm going to say this on air, we have one of the most amazing set of swimming instructors in the FCT. Really good guys, trust me. But one of the things that is somewhat lacking is that unity. We need to come together. We need to come together as a team, tell the government this is our plan, this is what we want to achieve. Everybody is doing their thing individually, but they are just micro efforts, but if we could come together as a unit and make this thing work, trust me, we have brilliant ideas. We have a small union where we come together and we talk, and when you hear some people's ideas, you're like, wow, man, dude, you need to go and wake up. You need to go and brush your notes and improve on your skill. So many people in the FCT that know this job. But if we come together, then the government will take us seriously.
All right, let's talk about the positive impacts of swimming when it comes to boosting self-esteem and confidence. In your career, would you say that you've met how people's behavior, how people's love for oneself changed, after taking a swimming class?
I'll give one example of somebody that had, that told me about how she had a little bit of self-esteem issues, had weight issues, and I dealt with her for about 4 months, and the results afterwards were amazing. Amazing. You see, those kinds of experiences are much more than money for me. When somebody says, I went through your swimming lessons and I got better. For me, that's much more than money. She came in, she was a little bit overweight. She was always feeling so bad about how she looked. I had to talk. So I've learned a lot working with people over the years. I learned, she was like, she's not comfortable. She wants a private pool. So I was like, are you ready to pay the money for a private pool? But I didn't know that she was actually dealing with self-esteem issues. So I talked her over the process, and trust me, right now she's doing so well.
I've always felt I am heavy for the water.
Right?
Yes.
You feel
I've always felt so.
Well, you're not.
Let me decide that mentally. But then tell me what do you think, your advice, or should I say from your experience, what do you wish people should, learn from this particular skills that you have?
Okay, so it's a very difficult skill to learn. I will not just gloss over it and say it's very easy to learn. It's not easy to learn. But one of the things that it helps you do after you've learned is it just feels there's this sense of achievement. Wow, I learned this thing. I can do something else that is a little bit difficult on my terrain, on my field. I can do other things if I can learn how to swim. There's a client I had, she was 64 when she started learning. 64, a grandmother. And she was like, I don't have anything to do. So I have my children, I have my grandchildren. She didn't feel she's heavy
like I'm feeling heavy.
Funny enough.
Because there are some people that call me grandma.
Funny enough, the bigger you are, the easier it is for you to swim.
Interesting. We've seen people. I've seen people just relax and float on water.
I can float. Actually, funny enough.
That is
but I'm still scared of water.
No, you float because the water carries you.
I actually can.
So
I started learning, right?
Okay,
but then I still have that phobia. I don't know why. Maybe because back then I had some experience with friends that threw me inside the pool.
So what I should ask is,
actually,
are you willing to give
overcome
it a period of continuity, maybe for a month?
Oh, yeah. Maybe if I had done that, I would have overcome.
Then you would have overcome.
All right, I have a quick question for you due to time. Because of a lot of boat mishaps that has been happening in Nigeria, in Niger, in Adamawa, and all that, all that happened. And before the divers would get to them, if these people are at least able to hold on, before those professionals get there. So on a global level, how would you say it is important for, the government, the states, individuals to make sure that
create more awareness and enlightenment,
swimming facilities in schools, educations, and all that, and start at the earlier stage?
Oh, that's really very important, because schools are already doing that. I work with a lot of schools in the FCT. Schools are already taking it as part of the curriculum for children to learn how to swim, which is very important. We have facilities, in the FCT here. We have our national swimming pool. Beautiful location, very lovely pool. We have lots of awareness on this, but it's very important, for everybody to come together to say, what, we need to create positive awareness for this. Okay. So one of the projects that we are planning to do at Climax Swim School for next year is Project Swim 1000.
We can't wait.
Yes, Project Swim 1000, and I'll just give you brief details about what it's about.
Oh my God! Because of time, we cannot hear that details yet, but I'm sure that people will be able to reach in order to hear that.
We'll definitely bring him back again afterwards. So people
thank you so much for joining us to talk about these skills that people need to learn, which is swimming. To save your life is one of the most important things, and we learned a thing from you, and we hope that our viewers are able to catch that. So thank you so much for joining us. Amfani, I am CEO, Climax Group, child educator and serial entrepreneur. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right, and with that, of course, we have come to the end of Daybreak on Trust Television. Daybreak Extra. We hope that you picked a thing or two, in this 2 hours show that we brought for you. And yes, this is the last Daybreak show that we have until next year. So we wish you a very happy and successful New Year. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Do have a lovely day.
And I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Like Sumaya said, do have a great year. And by the way, compliment of the season. And then stay tuned for our weekend sports with Adini Ajishafi.